So if you're a manager, whenever you're thinking about motivating your employees, one of the first things you may think of is, okay, I gotta stand on a table and give this rah-rah speech. Incorrect. That is not what you want to do. Instead, what you want to do is you want to compartmentalize, then dominate. Now, what does this mean? What this means is that compartmentalize, let's just first understand that word. That's when you're getting the right people. So let's say you're over here trying to educate one member from this team. Do you have to invite the entire team? No. You just invite that one member. So you bring them to your office. A lot of leaders get this part wrong. They'll just give this big motivational talk to the entire team, and they don't really need to hear it. They're bored, and it doesn't stick. But you get that one member, so you have compartmentalized them. Now you want to dominate, and dominating pretty much just means giving them perspective. And to give someone perspective, you have to know where they are and where they want to go. And from there, it's all about just giving them that big picture understanding. And the more that they have that big picture understanding, the more they're like, I'm ready. Let me do my job this time, okay? Because I at least know why I'm doing the certain job. Like one of my internships, I recall like this manager that I was paired up with, Ron, he was a really nice guy, but he was so busy. And he just had me doing all these different Excel sheets. And I'm just like, man, like, why am I doing all these Excel sheets for? I didn't have any context. So a couple of weeks goes on by. And one day there was this lady named Melissa that came to my cube. She's like, hey, are you Arman? I was like, yeah. She's like, walk with me. So she takes me into this office and she's like, do you know how much you've been helping my team? I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And that's when she starts creating a bunch of these boxes. And she basically is using a lot of the similar language that I was using in my Excel sheets. And then she begins explaining these different boxes and she's connecting them in unique ways. She's like, you know the Excel sheets that you've been working on? So what you ended up doing is that you ended up standardizing the entire process. So there's a thing called like APAC, EMEA, like APAC means American Pacific or Asian Pacific, whatever. EMEA means Europe, Middle Eastern, something like that. And basically, long story short, her team is all from different parts of the world. So there was a lot of miscommunication that was going on. My Excel sheets pretty much standardized the entire process. So they're speaking in a similar language in terms of the time zone. So now she's over here thanking me. She's like, you've made things so much more efficient with your Excel sheets. So now I had the big picture understanding. I was like, yeah, I did that, man. She's like, yeah, you did that. So a couple of weeks goes on by. And basically at this stage, once the internship is wrapping up, I basically have to, the interns have to basically go in front of their team and talk about the value that they brought to the company. And that will determine if they get a full-time position. Okay? If I didn't have that conversation with Melissa, I don't know if I would have gotten the full-time position because all I could say is, well, I created a bunch of Excel sheets. And if they were to press me on it, well, what did your Excel sheets exactly do? I'm like, I don't know. Ron told me to do it. You think I'm getting a full-time position that way? No. But that conversation with Melissa, she gave me perspective. And I'm like, man, I saved X amount of time, which helped with X amount of productivity, which helped with X amount of cost saved. That gets you a full-time offer.